Hey everyone, so I had gotten this comment here about my nose ring, so I wanted to look a little bit further into it, and I'm going to show you what I found out. Okay, so I had remembered in the book of Genesis there was a mention about nose rings, and it's when the servant goes looking for a bride for Isaac, and once he finds Rebecca, he gives her a nose ring. So as we can see here, there is a mention of the nose ring in the Bible as far back as the book of Genesis. When Abraham sent his servant in search for a wife for Isaac, the servant prayed that God would reveal to him the right young woman. Rebecca came in as an answer to his prayer. When she agreed to give him lodging in her father's home, he gave her some gifts from his master Abraham, and among those gifts was a gold nose ring. Genesis 24:22. This reveals that nose rings were in fashion during that era, and they represented wealth and status when given as a gift. They were also considered female attire. The only time men wore anything through their nose was when they were taken as slaves. 2 Chronicles 33:10 through 11. So then I decided to go to 2 Chronicles 33:10 and 11. So here it says, the Lord spoke to Manasseh and his people, but they paid no attention. So the Lord brought against them the army commanders of the king of Assyria, who took Manasseh prisoner, put a hook in his nose, bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babylon. There is another mention in Ezekiel 16 where God describes the affection he had showered upon Israel in terms of a man showering his bride with gifts. I put a ring on your nose, earring on your ears, and a beautiful crown on your head. So from my understanding, from reading over what the Bible has to say about the verses about nose ring, I do not feel that it is any sign of slavery to wear a nose ring for a woman. Now, I understand everyone has personal preferences, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to wear a nose ring, you certainly don't have to. But I do feel like the Bible is drawing the conclusion that women adorn themselves with the nose ring. Sometimes it might be a sign of a person being married, maybe it's your marital status, but it was a clear indication of a jewelry that women in the biblical days wore as a way to just adorn themselves. So I don't feel like that nose ring is a sign of slavery. I do want to thank my sister who brought this up and brought it to my attention so I could do a little bit more research on it and be able to come back with what the Bible has to say about whether a woman should wear